All right. Thank you for joining this week's episode of Lunch Break Learning with Coach Shaquan. And I really need to go back and count these because I got so excited when we got to 10 and then I haven't counted there, but we are rolling along with Lunch Break Learning. So just explain, why are we here? Lunch Break Learning is an opportunity for you to take a break from work so you can work on you. And so oftentimes I would hear people say, like, oh, I'm so busy and I just don't have time, or work is consuming, life is consuming. So I wanted to offer a space and opportunity for you to just stop and breathe and indulge in some things that are going to help you be more authentic and reduce some of the draining, destructive, fear-based thoughts, which we'll talk about in your everyday life and relationships. So for those that are new, may or may not know, my name is Coach Shaquan, and I study how people communicate, connect, and show up in personal and professional relationships. And using the certified coaching and teaching and all of those other big words that may or may not matter. I do have receipts, so let's be clear on that. I have been doing this for over 10 years, 10, 11 years here. And um, I use those informations and those things that I've learned through education, through experience, through coaching clients and teaching, and have created a framework called Check Your BS. And I do these little snaps, where BS stands for belief system, and helping people understand the belief systems that they've created that are holding them back from experiencing true peace and joy and love in the bedroom, boardroom, and everywhere in between. So, our topic today, what are your facts? Or, as I put here, as we are streaming live on Instagram, are your facts false? Okay, we got two different titles. We're going to get to the same thing. So, because it has been a week, we are in the middle of, at the time of this recording, school is starting. We've got kids going from the lower levels, our pre-K and our kindergartners, to our experiencing middle schoolers, to our experiencing first-time high schoolers, to those, in my particular case, our seniors. Come on, somebody help me. To our college students. Like, a lot of things are happening and the emotions are mixed and they're all over the place. And so we just got a lot going on. So usually I wait till the end to do some deep breathing. I'm going to insert that now. So if you will join me, if you so feel inclined, let's please take a deep breath in and let it out. And let's just do one more. Deep breath in and let it out. All right. And again, last house cleaning rule. For those that may or may not know, your girl is a Christian, okay? I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so I am asking that the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, thy rock and thy redeemer, because at a time such as this, Lord, we need you. So this is not about me. This is about me being obedient and serving in a way that God has called me to serve. And so facts. Now, I'm an acronyms girl. So you saw facts. But you knew facts stood for something. So get your pen and your paper and get ready. So we're going to start off with really defining what the word facts means, or fact, or if the plural facts. And so I got my notes here. Facts are something that has actual existence, or something that has occurred. We can say facts are a piece of information about something that has been presented that is true or accurate. Now, I got a group of words that I just love that I'm going to use, and they're just like evergreen. They're not going to be outdated to me. And so when someone says something that resonates, or something that feels relatable, or something that I've experienced, I'll say facts, like big facts. Do y'all say that? Let me know in the comments. Are you a facts person? Like facts, like we go on it. And facts is that thing that says, yes, I agree. Yes, I have experience. Yes, I have evidence. Yes, I have something that can validate what was said or what was done. And I'm in agreement with it. And so we have gotten to the point in our lives where we are full of facts. And I'm going to flip this because that's what I do. We are full of facts and we don't even know it. So today's conversation, when I talk about facts, I am talking about the false acceptance of certain temporary situations. You say, slow down, coach, go back. Okay. And if you want to put this in the chat for others, if I have some note takers in here, again, on Instagram or in the break room. And if you're not in the break room, you need to hop on over here, check the link in the bio, because that's where this goes down, over here in the break room. Okay. So facts are false acceptance of certain temporary situations. Okay, so it's a little O in there, but with acronyms, you can kind of take the little words out. So yes, we're just using facts. False acceptance of certain temporary situations. So I was first introduced to F.A.C.T.S when I was going through my coaching certification program. Is something that they brought up to us, and we were told to be mindful of the facts that we've created, the false acceptance of certain temporary situations. And so when we begin to talk about false acceptance is when you really resign yourself to a situation, believing it to be permanent. Okay. When you resign yourself or really involve yourself in a situation and you believe that it is permanent, when in reality, right, the real piece about it is that it's temporary or it's changeable. Yet when we are in a place of being what I call in this draining, destructive, fear-based mindset, okay, we don't have the opportunity or the energy or the access to really look at other situations or other possibilities of what we're going through. So we begin to accept things as they are, and we begin to believe things as they are, and we begin to really operate and show up in these spaces under these facts. Okay. False acceptance of certain temporary situations. And thank you, Inside the Break Room, for putting that in there. And so going down the line, when I thought about this, and I'm like, okay, so let's really get clear on again these facts and these false things, and how your mindset can get you in a place where you begin to believe the fears and the worries and the overwhelmment and the anxiety that's been placed in front of you when you have no evidence or proof. Okay. So I want you to think about for a moment, what are some facts, okay, about you? This is a journal prompt. What are some facts about you? Something that is false that you've accepted about who you are, where you are, what you do, what you've done, what you'll always be. And you might be saying, so, hey, coach, how do I know? How do I know when I have facts, right? The false acceptance of certain temporary situations. Say that 5 times fast and see what happened. Okay. So what are some facts about you? I'll tell you, some of the ones that come up most often are not good enough. Ooh, do we have some truth and transparency? Have you ever believed or ever thought or ever that you're not good enough for something? Show of hands if you feel so inclined to share, because it's not just you. Part of community building, part of helping to recognize that your facts are false, are being able to be in a space where you can recognize again that it's not you, that there are people that are relatable to you, that have certain experiences as you. And then we're over here in the break room on Zoom, and I see a lot of yeses and a lot of hand raised. Yes, not good enough is one of the biggest facts that we tell ourselves. Okay. Not good enough, not smart enough. There is something missing. And if you've been following me and been through lunch break learning, there is an episode on is your good, or when will your good be enough? Go back and listen to that, because that was good. Do I say that every week? I think I say that every week, that everyone is good, right? And that's a fact, right? Actual with evidence, proof, okay? Facts. So again, when we are in that place and you're thinking about some of those facts, what are some other facts about your life? Really think about the facts about your life. Some of the ones that come up when I'm coaching clients, or some that I've dealt with or I've experienced personally, are this is where I'll always be. Yeah, I guess this is where I'll always be. I really had that fact, if you will. Or do I have to put the S on that? I had the facts. I had the facts when I was working corporate America. I had been with the company for several years. I was with the company for 13 total before I transitioned into entrepreneurship. During those, or over the course of those 13 years, I really thought, and I remember saying to myself, I'm going to retire from here, right? I am going to retire from this position because I don't know what else I would do. Where else would I go? It would be too difficult for me to go. Like, ain't nobody trying to update no resume. Don't nobody want to interview. Like, I don't want to do all of that. This is the best that I have. And so I created some facts about my life in terms of my career and what that would look like. And then what are some facts, right? False acceptance of certain temporary situations that you have about your relationships. Ooh, are we going? Let me take a sip there because I need to. Okay, hold on. Hmm. Mm, mhm, mhm, mhm. So I got a lot of facts, right? Whether I'm talking about facts in the bedroom, right? And so facts about my marriage, things that I thought would never change. Can we just take a commercial break real quick? Let's just talk about relationships real quick. So relationships are defined by how you communicate, connect, and show up. Okay? Relationships are defined by how you communicate, how you connect, and how you show up. When we think about intimate relationships, relationships begin with the thought of potential, expectation, and physical attraction. Okay, okay. It starts. Let's go. Let me reorder that. It starts with physical attraction, and then we kind of move to potential, and then expectations. Okay, so once we have all three of those, we get the physical attraction out the way first. Oh, I don't know. Y'all still smashing on the first date? I don't know. I don't know what y'all doing. I ain't gonna tell you what we did in the 90s because ain't no evidence of proof on that. So you ain't got no facts. Okay. What I do know is that sexual attraction happens very quickly. And so most often we go to sex real quick. Okay. So once you got that check, okay, it was okay. Or it might have potential. You may have to work some things out. We go there first. After that, you look at, there's potential in this thing right here. Yeah, y'all feeling this? Ooh, come on now. So you feel the potential in the relationship, and then you lean into the expectations. So now you got all of that. Now it's time to take the relationship to the next level. And so let's just say we want to take this thing to the marriage level. Okay. Well, guess what we've got are facts, right? Real evidence, and we're talking about facts in the true definition of it, right? Something that's actual, that exists, that occurs. And so you look at all the facts that you have in front of you and you go, okay, so here's some things that I may not like. These are the red flags, as we like to say. And so we'll dig into those things and you say, you know what? That's okay. Because I can change him or her. Yeah. Or you have the belief they'll change. Or the third one, I can deal with it, right? Because all of these boxes are checked, but it's that one box that really has you thinking, the thing that really gets you. Yet you think about all the other things that you're willing to deal with in order, or you're thinking about this thing that you're willing to deal with, right? That you can settle for, that you figure will work itself out because either you're going to change it or they're going to change themselves because you have that much power to make someone else change their mind, right? God didn't give that to everybody. Okay. So in these relationships, you think you're gonna make your partner change. That ain't how it works. We're gonna have to have another lunch break on that. Or we might have to do that as like maybe we'll go back to cocktails and conversations because we're gonna need some drinks for that. Okay. So let me focus. Let me focus. So anyway, so you get in that situation, you make the choice to accept the marriage proposal, you go through all of that, and guess what? You realize the potential you saw, the person's not living up to that. The expectations you have, they're not living up to that. And what you thought that you could deal with, baby, you got a whole deck of cards and you only got two in the possible. What is we gonna do? Hmm. And so you realize that now you are in a situation where the facts have become more of what you're leaning on, the false acceptance of certain temporary conversations. Look at me, somebody didn't put conversation in here. Girl, you threw me off. I was like, yes, put a note in there. We're gonna talk about cocktails and conversation, okay? So and I don't re-record, so y'all have to work through all of this, all right? False acceptance of certain temporary situations. And so we find ourselves in our relationships having these facts where we've accepted, right, certain situations and certain things about ourselves and about our partners that we end up settling on. And we say that we're going to do the best that we can. And we say that we're compromising when we're really sitting in a space of being unhappy and discouraged and not really living up to our true selves and showing up most authentically and being in relationship, not only with our partners, but with ourselves because we've accepted these facts. So all of that was in that journal prompt, or what are some facts about your relationship? Okay. So was that all right that we took a left? Okay. So let me get back focused. Y'all might have to go back and listen to some of that because I just dropped some gems in there for some of y'all. The potential and the expectations is not enough to sustain a healthy and thriving and God-centered marriage. It's not enough. So get your potentials and your expectations and your facts in order before you make the choice to move forward. And if you're already in a marriage, Mhm. there is value in looking at the facts the false acceptance of certain temporary situations. Because the truth of the matter is that when you begin to work on you, right, to get your mindset in order, to get your facts cleaned up, then there's nothing else that you can do in terms of the potential and the expectations to make your partner be more comfortable for you. That's all I got on that. All right, we're going to get back. Okay. All right. So identifying these facts, these false acceptance, these things that we feel are permanent in our lives when they're really temporary. Yet we've created this mindset, somewhat of a fixed mindset. You all are familiar with Carol Dweck. That's DWE or DWCK, I think it is. She created the concept of fixed versus growth mindset. And so sometimes when we are in a fixed mindset, meaning your mind is closed and it's only interested in the things that you know, that you're not interested in exploring other opportunities or other ideas or other perspectives because you've become so air quote comfortable in the way that you're doing things and you are not willing to consider other ways, right? And so we get stuck into these fixed mindsets where then the draining destructive thoughts that begin to happen make you believe that your facts have actual proof and evidence when they really don't. Okay. So there is value in truly understanding these situations that you're in and how the permanent thought or the fixed mindset around it is not allowing you to be in a growth mindset, which allows you to think about, really, what proof or evidence do I have for these facts? So as you're thinking about the false acceptance, right? Really resigning yourself to a situation, believing that it's permanent. How are these facts really stopping you from showing up in a way that is most authentic to who you were created to be? Okay, journal prompt. How are my facts, my false acceptance of certain temporary situations stopping me or blocking me from showing up in a way that is most authentic to who I was created to be? That's your journal prompt. Okay. Y'all feeling this one? Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. Okay. Let me know if there's any questions. Faxes can be a thing, right? Fax is part of that process of really breaking through the belief systems and the things that you've created and the lies, because we lie, you lie, I lie, we all lie. Lies show up in not good enough, not smart enough, not having enough. The fact that you believe you are lacking something and you are unable to move forward because you don't have something that you think you need, when in truth you have everything you need in this moment at this time to do what you are being called and what you feel in your heart you are supposed to be doing. You have enough. Okay. So, Coach, how do people get stuck in their facts? How do we get stuck in this place of believing that our temporary circumstances and our situations are so permanent? Well, one of the things is we believe that things always happen to us. Okay? Things always happen to us. Now, here's the catch. When we talk about energy, because again, your girl, yeah, I talk about energy, I teach it. And it is a solid strategy, mindset tool, and self-awareness strategy that I really encourage you to really lean into and think about. So there's two types of energy. Let me go back. Let me describe. So energy is, in terms of self-awareness, everything you hear, taste, smell, touch, and see. Those are your five senses, which gives you a perception of what you like and dislike about people, places, things, or situations. Okay. And so you may have to go back and listen to this again to get it. I will continue to reiterate. Is that the word I'm looking for? Y'all help me on the break room. Reiterate. I think that's the word. Or go over if I want to bring it down. Because are we using new words? Because I ain't even gonna bring up the word that's present right now because we don't want to bring it up anyway. So to reiterate that energy and what it is. And so there's two types of energy. One is called anabolic energy. Anabolic, which is ANABOLIC. Anabolic energy, which is healing, constructive, and success focused. When you're feeling your best and you're doing your best, your body says, hey, we're not under stress, and it releases these hormones throughout your body. So if you feel the tingling that's going good, right? That is saying that it is releasing hormones that produce growth and produce focus and creativity and gives you access to more anabolic energy. So that's when we're really showing up most authentic and being able to be in alignment with what our purpose and our calling is, again, in the bedroom, boardroom, and everywhere in between. And then on the other side is catabolic energy. And I like to really drop my head down and really talk because, ooh, child, the catabolic energy. Catabolic energy is draining, destructive, and fear-based. And when we're in catabolic energy and we're under stress, our brain and our body says we need something to help us to get through that. And so it releases these chemicals that actually eat away at our healthy cells. But we're so in much of an adrenaline rush that we want to push through. So it can either give you this burst of draining energy, which you think may be good, because folks like to think that they work better under pressure. False facts. Okay. That catabolic energy begins to eat away at us. And so when you're thinking about these two different energies, one of the things that people do, again, when they get stuck in their facts, the false acceptance of certain temporary situations, is they believe that it always happens to them. That's the catabolic side. Oh, that's pretty much me. It always happens to me, right? Something is against you. Something is always out to get you. And so when we get into that situation of thinking things always from the catabolic, draining, destructive, fear-based side, things always happen to me. It's always bad. And at that moment, you're in the box. And we've talked about the box. And if you're new here, or here's a refresher, the box is that dark space that we go into. We close the lid, boom, shut the lid, and it's dark. And while you're able to function within the dysfunction of what's happening in your catabolic box, your dark box, it's kind of like being in your house and the lights go out. This is how I always describe it. You're in your house, the lights go out. You can make it from your bedroom to the bathroom, or from the kitchen to your bedroom, or however the structure of your home is, because you're familiar with the space. And so a lot of people operate right out of a level one in their box, and they don't even know it because it seems so familiar. But when you believe that these bad things always happen to you, that you never catch a break, right? That this everything is always against you. You are in a level one, you are in the box, and you are stuck in your facts. Okay. Another way we get stuck in our facts is we avoid discomfort or risk. I don't want to take no risk. Mm-mm. I do not want to do anything that is unfamiliar. And we get stuck in the fear of the unknown. Ooh, wait, do y'all show of hands? Do y'all get afraid of the unknown? Do you have a fear of the unknown? Does not knowing, ooh, hands are going high. Yes. Does not knowing what's ahead of you scare you? Yes. Right? That's a sign that you are stuck in your facts, right? There is this false acceptance of the situation, the certain temporary situations that you're in. You have accepted where you are, and you are navigating in this space when this is not where you belong. Half the time you didn't get an invitation to here. You walked your little self up in there. Nobody asked you to come to the box. Nobody asked you to be stuck here. Yet, because you do not want to experience what the unknown has, because your mind has told you in a catabolic way that the unknown is something bad. But okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready for a little faith base here? Okay. Well, when you believe in God and you do have the mustard seed size of faith, which is just that small, when you have just that much, then the unknown is a place where you are happy to walk in because you are following the direction of where God is calling you to go. So there is no necessity or no reason for you to have a fear of the unknown unless you are following out of your ego. Y'all go back and check that lunch break learning. Ego, gremlins, intuition. You see how I linked in because I want to make sure you heard that. Yes, go back and listen to that. So when you have a fear of the unknown, you are more likely falling victim to your facts, and you are allowing your ego or your gremlin, or your inner critic to lead you. Yet when you are full of God's grace, and when you are truly believing that he is calling you to do greater, to do better, then you will come up out of that box. And the unknown will be a place that you will walk into knowing that what's on the other side is what's exactly for you. See, God has got to know that he can trust you with what you're being asked to do and what you've been asked for. Because see, if you knew what was ahead and if you knew what you had to go through, then how many of us will really go forward into the unknown? Okay. Here's another reason, another way that you know that you're stuck in your facts is this thing called confirmation bias. And I had to look this up. Okay. Confirmation bias. And when I thought about that, I said confirmation bias, that sounds like a big word. You know, Coach be real relatable. I be real down to earth. And so we're going to call it selective thinking. Okay. Selective thinking, or for those that want to be a little bit more proper, I suppose, we can say confirmation bias. But what we're talking about is when you seek to confirm information or things that go along with your current belief system. Okay. When you seek information that confirms what you believe, when you ignore the evidence, when you ignore the other things that could contradict what your draining, destructive, fear-based, your catabolic thoughts are telling you, you don't want to do that. Okay. You want to believe what you believe, and you go looking for evidence to support your facts. So really, are your facts false? That's a very honest question and a journal prompt. Are your facts false? Are you stuck in this confirmation bias or selective thinking, where you're looking for things, right? Right? It happens. It happens in the bedroom, right? When we think that there could be some dishonesty or some things that are happening, we go looking. They say, what do they say? You go looking for trouble, you find trouble. As I say, you shouldn't go sneak around. You're looking for stuff because you've already got your mindset, right, fixed on what you believe is truth. And so now you're going to get evidence and things to support that. And that's how you get stuck in your facts. So I want y'all to really think about that. Think about the selective thinking you have. And when you're journaling this out, how often do I go looking for confirmation of my beliefs as opposed to evidence that will allow me, or information that will allow me to explore the possibilities that what I'm thinking or what I'm believing may not be true? Some other ones I want to think about is the negative self-talk. If you're anywhere in the social media world, there's plenty of information out there about self-talk and mindset and self-doubt and self-sabotage. Your girl has been talking about it for 10 plus years. I'm so grateful that the mainstream and that more people have access to it, because people have been afraid to really have the conversation about the things that are happening within our mind. The draining, destructive, fear-based thoughts, the self-sabotage, the fears, the overwhelmings, the worry, the stress, all of those things are happening in your mind. And it's important to remember the formula: thoughts create feelings, feelings create emotions, and emotions create actions. So what you think becomes what you do. So if you're going looking for information to support your catabolic thoughts, that's what you're going to find. And then the last one here is comparing to others. I say this so often, and it's something that I must remember myself, that comparison is the thief of joy. Someone have that scripture. If you know that scripture, please put it in here and I'll share it with others. Comparison is the thief of joy. And so when we're looking at other people, what they have, what they're doing, where they are, and we think we should be further along, or we should be doing what they're doing, or we're questioning why can't we, or what are they doing differently, then you find yourself stuck in facts. You're stuck in this false acceptance of certain temporary situations. Why my family can't go on vacation? Why don't I have a friend group like this? Why my marriage not turned out like this? You begin to question and compare everything, when in truth, all you are required to do is to self-reflect. Look at yourself. What are some facts that are keeping you stuck? What are some negative things that you've been saying to yourself? And how could you be contributing to more of the chaos than you even are recognizing? Okay, because you know the break room come through. Thank you. That scripture, comparison is the thief of joy. 2 Corinthians 10 and 12. Thank you very much. 2 Corinthians 10 and 12. Comparison is the thief of joy. So you can easily get stuck in your facts if you are busy scrolling through social media. And I'm guilty, right? Social media gets us. It was designed to be that way. If you're spending more time comparing and judging and criticizing and turning up your nose and doing all of those things, and your facts, you and your facts are in your black box. I don't know if it's a black box. I just thought it was dark. So I don't know what color your box is. When I think of darkness, I think of a black dark space. okay? Whatever the case may be. Well, when you're in that box, you don't have access to really begin to see what you have and the value that you offer and the things that you can contribute to the success of your life. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here because Coach be saying 30 minutes and then we still got to hang out in the break room. But I want to make sure that we are clear on the concept of limiting beliefs. Okay. Limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are these deep-rooted and long-standing thoughts that really hold you back from accepting or embracing your truth. Okay? Deep-rooted, long-standing, deep-rooted. Okay? Let's focus on that part. These roots that we're talking about are really connected to your childhood experiences, right? Things that happen to you are potentially impacting you today. I've had this conversation I've shared. I recognize that my deep roots started at 5 years old. Being the only Black girl in this all white space and then transferring to the all Black school. And I had to dummy myself down because they called me a teacher's pet and thought I was goody two shoe and all of this. And so those deep roots, I found myself for many years playing small and holding back and not really exploring the greatness that I have and who I am, and really just playing it at a level that makes other people comfortable enough to trust me without me having that true courage to really step into it, for fear of people would think I'm false or I'm fake or I don't know what I'm talking about or she just another one of these coaches. Baby, I've been doing this. Y'all just got here. Okay. Okay. So limiting beliefs are what we have: childhood experiences, past perceived failures, right? We do something once and it doesn't work out. We call ourselves failures. And then we don't want to do it again, when more than likely the reason it failed, air quote, is because you were probably out of alignment. You probably led with your ego, or you followed your gremlins or your inner critic. See, failure is not the opposite of success. Sometimes it's not your time. Okay? Think about that. Write that down. Sometimes it's not my time. And so be patient and wait on the Lord. Right? We've got to practice these things that we have in order to progress where we are wanting to go. Okay, over here in the break room, somebody said, put some respect on her name. Yes, you better. I just ain't show up. I've been doing this. I've been here, but I've been playing small and going into different spaces where it was easily accessible because of the limiting beliefs of how can I show up in this space and how can I say these things and will people believe me? It ain't enough for you to believe me. You need to believe God. Okay. And then God will confirm for you who I am. Period. Come on now. Did I snap? Do people still snap? Did I just age myself? I don't know. Do we snap? Oh, I snap. What? Snap, 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 snap. Okay. Right. And so again, these limited beliefs, and I'm going to wrap this up, I promise here. Childhood experiences, past perceived failures, rejections. Our fear of rejection is deep. Okay. And feedback from others. I remember starting off in this space, okay, because we've already talked about how long I've been here and what I've been doing. So I started with marriage and relationships, and I went to an event and I connected with a leader, someone whom I respected and I had seen, and I was so excited to meet her. And we scheduled time and we got on the phone, and she said, "Tell me more about what you're doing." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm a marriage and relationship coach," and I started giving my spiel and everything, and I started talking about this and I started talking about energy. She said, "I just want to break for a minute. This whole coaching thing, that's not in the Bible. The Bible don't talk nothing about coaches. It's just a made up thing that people are using. And if because you are not ordained, yeah, she told me this, because you are not ordained and because God has not called you, you don't have the right to talk about marriage." It struck me. Struck me so much that I was like, okay, I can't do this. This is not what I'm going to do. So our limited beliefs do come from other people's feedback. And so what we must be mindful is do not allow their fears to create your facts. Ooh, wee. Let me say that again. Do not allow their fears. What did I say? Do not allow do not allow their fears to create your facts. Your false acceptance of certain temporary situations. Okay. So we will not give into our fears and we will not settle for less and for what we are worth and for what we deserve based on someone else's experiences. This is why we must be very in tune to who we are and whose we are, and be very obedient to do what God is calling you to do, again, from the bedroom to the boardroom and everywhere in between. Ooh, we. Okay, that's what we got. I'm feeling it. I started off telling you all that this was a day. It's been a week, and back to school is happening at the time of this recording. And I'm just grateful that God still said you have a responsibility, and I'm calling you to show up. So I pray with everything that I have, that I've said something, and I've done something, and I've brought something to your attention that will help you break free of those facts. Because faith is more powerful than any proof or evidence that you could ever go looking for. Okay. At this moment, if you are so inclined, please take a deep breath in and let it out. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. And let's do one more. Deep breath in and let it out. It's time to clean up your facts. I want you to go back, think about this. If you must, go back and re-listen to this and really think about the facts that you've created and how they are creating this fear and really stopping you from showing up most authentic in the bedroom, boardroom, and everywhere in between. So I want to thank you for joining another episode of Lunch Break Learning with Coach Shaquan. At this time, we're going to end the recording. So I encourage you all to leave a comment, like, share, help me get the word out for people that are seeking some internal options and some self-awareness strategies to really explore how they can be their best selves. If you're in the break room, we're going to continue over here and on Instagram. I'll see y'all later. All right. I'll send out links. Everything is in the bio that are clickable, and I'll see you guys next week.